each week I am creating these videos here that are these little news summaries that I push out once a week. And I also push out a little newsletter that basically is the same information, goes out on a Saturday or Sunday and summarizes these news stories. It's the newsletter that essentially is created by AI. I don't really do anything to get that ready other than sort of check it over and make sure it's not saying anything particularly nefarious or stupid. And I put a cover on it as well. But the grunt of the work takes me literally a couple of minutes, dead easy. And it's a really simple way to reutilize some content that I've already created and get it into people's hands through a different format. So how do I do it? Well, first off, I have this little crib sheet here. So each week I am collating stories that I have read or that I find interesting in the main so that I can, batch read them at the end of the week. And I also then use the ones that I think are the most interesting and the most relevant as a crib sheet for this video that I create. So I already have my stories in this Google Doc. What I had been doing was running over to ChatGPT and then just giving a prompt something like summarize these stories and give me a take way for marketers. God, that's terrible spelling. Doesn't matter with an LLM. You can just give it almost random letters and it seems to know what you want. So off it goes, starts writing the summaries and gives them to me in this format. The problem was that it's always slightly different. There's always something slightly too long. It's just like, I then have to go, no, shorten them. No, I want them in this style. So how can you do that and make it even simpler, even quicker? Well, that's where these things called GPTs come in. What are GPTs? Many of you will know, but some of you may not. Really, they are like the simplest version of an AI agent in a way. And they're made up of a number of components, which we'll get into now. So first up, how do you get to them? Well, when you're in ChatGPT, over on the left, you'll see this thing called Explore GPTs. There's a whole bundle of them in the system already, probably thousands of them by now, that other people have built. As you can see over here, I've got a bundle of them saved. So I've got a prompt engineer there, copywriter, transcript analyzer, all sorts of things. Some of them I built myself. Some of them I've used other people's. So these are public. These are ones that people have made and they've made public. Some of my GPTs are private, so they just made them for my own ends. One of those being this one here called Newsletter Summarizer. This is about as simple as it gets, folks, so don't worry, this is not going to get particularly technical. So how do I go and create one of these? So click on Explore GPTs, click on Create, and you'll come into an environment that looks just like this. Now, obviously mine's filled in because I've already made it, but I'll take you through what each of these components are, and then you can go and make your own. So first up, Newsletter Summarizer, just the title, so I know what it is. A description of what it does, which for me is, neither here nor there, but obviously if you're going to make these public, you need to probably put a bit more effort into that. Here's where the real magic in this case happens, and that is in the prompt, or in their case, they call it instructions. So this is, what is it that you want it to go and do? Now, this I've honed a little bit because I needed to get it right. But once you've got it right, that's it. You never have to do it again. So at its base level, a GPT really is just a way to store prompts. Rather than having them stored in a Google Doc or something, if you save it as a GPT, essentially you are saving a prompt. So if you use a prompt over and over and again, you may as well turn it into a GPT. It's just going to make it super easy for you. So I've got 3 things that I'm asking it to do. Take all the stories, summarize them, give each one a headline, give each one 3 bullet points for the summary, identify a single key takeaway for marketers, and some notes on just what and how to make it sound. So I can close that. Conversation starter is really just a sort of prompt to the human, really. Like, what is it that you want the human to do? Well, in my case, I know what I'm going to go and do. But if it was a public one or you're building one for your team, then you might need to put an instruction here. Over here, I've just got, give me the stories, as you can see. And then you've got some other options, knowledge and capabilities. I'm not going to get into those now. I'll do that in future videos as we get more and more complex. So in this case, that's it. Built my GPT, it's ready to go. Let's test it. So I just paste in my stories. Don't need to give it any prompting now. Give it a go. Here it comes, and off it goes. It starts writing, starts filling out and actually outputting the stories exactly as I want them every single time in the same structure. So as you can see here, headline, key 3 points, takeaway. When I come over to my news article or my newsletter, you'll see it's exactly the same way. Title, 3 points, and my takeaway. So that's it built. If I click update, then it's all saved. Next time I need to get to it, you'll find that it's over here in the left. There it is, newsletter summary. I just click on it and it loads it into the main screen, and I just do exactly the same thing, paste it in, and off you go. Makes it super, super easy. You can build all sorts of things. Obviously, you get way more complex, but there's a really easy way that I've been using it every week just to quickly turn a whole bundle of notes and something I've already generated into a newsletter in all of about 5 or 10 minutes. Obviously, I still read it and check that it's not complete idiocy and that I actually agree with the takeaways. I wouldn't say they're brilliant. Sometimes I have to sort of adapt them and adjust them. And obviously, I still have to put the image in there. But still, it's taking me minutes as opposed to an hour or so to pull all this together.